right, my fourth grade friends. So we watched the PowerPoint on trees, and I talked to you about how when we go to draw trees, we should think of it in terms of drawing the letter Y. And so what I'd like you to do is break out your sketchbook, turn to a clean page, and what we're going to do is we're going to practice this strategy. And we're going to start it with pencil before we actually do it for real. One of the things you're going to pull out from your packet, though, later on is this piece of paper that was in your baggie. We're going to use this piece of paper when we go ahead and draw our tree for real. So what you're going to do is grab your sketchbook, and what I want you to do is just start by drawing a trunk. And what I like to do is start at the base of the piece of paper and kind of draw the roots first, and then kind of go up a little bit. And then you can decide how thick you want the trunk. I'm not going to make mine super thick right now. And so we have this, and then I'm not going to do this really neatly, but imagine that this is just colored in, okay? And then I'm going to make my Y. So I'm going to make my first main branch, and it's usually thinner at the top and wider at the bottom. So see how I did that? And then I'm going to wider at the bottom, and then as it goes up, it gets thinner. All right? And then same thing. I'm going to color that in. Then, as I work my way up, I'm going to think about what's the next branches I'm going to draw. So it's just, so now this Y, I'm going to put another Y. I'm going to turn this branch into a Y as well. So I'm going to branch out here, and then I'm going to branch out here. And again, it's going to be thinner, and then wider, and wider, and then thinner. And then I'm just going to color. So I added a branch there. And then again, I'm going to turn this main branch again into a Y. And then I'm going to fill that in. Okay. And then what you can do is you can start to add other Ys. So for example, maybe I want to add another stronger branch down here. So I'm going to kind of do that. And then draw that, and then fill that in. And then maybe I want another Y. Coming off here. And maybe one more. Coming there. All right. So now I have some more, I kind of have my main branches. And then what I can do is then going up off of this one is now going to turn into a Y. And then see how you just keep adding the Y's on. And then maybe I'll explore that on this one too. So I'm going to this branch now becomes a Y. And then I'm going to add, then this branch is going to become and then maybe this branch is going to See how that works? And then you can also, if you would like to, you can add other Ys off of other branches. So for example, I can add more there. And for example, I could add and then I'm going to add some more here. So you just keep adding. These can overlap. This one's going to go and there's kind of an empty space here. I'm going to add another Y. And you can see how the tree is taking shape by simply making that a Y. That's becoming a Y. And you can keep going, making the tree more and more detailed depending on how much you want to add. Now once you practice this in your sketchbook and you kind of get the hang of it, then what you're going to do is you're going to grab your good piece of paper, and what you're going to do is you can start basically just with your Sharpie and kind of do the same exact thing as you did when you were practicing with this tree. And so again, I'm going to start sort of off to the side, and then I'm going to draw my first. And what I like to do is, because this paper isn't so wide, I'm going to make my first Ys go up and off the edge of the paper. And what I'm going to do is then it will be thinner at the top, and then it will get wider towards the bottom. So there's my first Y, and I can kind of make like this. And then what I'm going to do is then I'm going to fill this in with Sharpie. So go ahead and draw your first Y. You can make your trunk obviously thinner or wider depending on your taste, and then we'll go from there. All right guys, now we will continue to add our Ys. One thing I forgot to mention before is that when you're drawing, when you're drawing your tree, you must use a Sharpie, or if not a Sharpie, a permanent marker, a marker that's permanent, because next week we are going to do something really fun with the background, and if you don't use a permanent marker, it will the tree will end up getting kind of ruined by what we're going to do to the background. So make sure you're using a permanent marker. Okay, so then we're just going to keep on, and sometimes what I like to do is to do my next Y. Again, I might just make this go, I'm going to make this branch, so I'm turning this branch into a Y. I added 1, and then I'm going to add 2. So there's my next Y. And then I'm going to, same thing from here. I'm gonna, when I add some of my first main branches, I like to just go off the paper. Just kind of makes it a little bit easier. So there's 1, and then so it's a little bit wider at the bottom and thinner at the top. Then I might just branch off. There's my next Y. And here, maybe I'm going to do another one off of here that's going this way. So always remember, the branches are wider at the bottom and then thinner as they go up. There. And maybe I want to have some going. Next Y. There, I added a little Y. And then once you have some main branches, maybe I think I'm going to do one more main branch here. Oops. This is Herbay's phone's ringing. I'm going to turn it off. Another one, and maybe I'm going to do there, and one there like that, and maybe this one. So just have fun with it. Just keep adding branches, adding your Ys, and then once you finish that, that is all that we will do for this week, okay?